Scrub it clean, scrub it clean. All right, okay. Open, check. Nothing, close, click, click. Good. Are the knobs off? Off, off, off. Yes, open again, still clean. Close, click, click. One more time, just to be sure. Open, closed, locked. Okay.
Most people think they understand OCD, but they usually don't. It's not liking things tidy. It's not being a perfectionist. And it's definitely not a personality quirk. Well, OCD is one of the most misunderstood conditions on the planet. And today you're going to understand what it actually is, why it happens, and why millions of people live with it without even realizing. Let's keep it simple. OCD has two parts: obsessions, intrusive, unwanted thoughts that create anxiety; compulsions, behaviors or mental rituals that temporarily reduce that anxiety. That's it. People aren't choosing these rituals. Their brain is basically saying, do this, and the fear will go away, for now. And here's something most people don't know. OCD isn't rare. It affects around 2 to 3% of people worldwide, which makes it as common as asthma. And it's not just about constantly staying clean or checking the doors locked several times a day. There are dozens of forms. Some are obvious, some are almost invisible. One of the most fascinating real cases comes from a woman who suddenly developed severe checking OCD after a car accident. Before the accident, no symptoms. After, she couldn't leave her house unless she checked the stove 6 times, then 12, then 24. Later scans found she had a tiny injury in the part of the brain involved in error detection, the system that tells you something might be wrong. Hers became overactive, constantly firing false alarms. Her brain wasn't broken. It was doing too much checking, too much warning, too much responsibility. And that's the core of OCD, a brain that refuses to trust safe enough. And honestly, I get it. I have a mild form called arithmomania. It's number-based OCD. For example, I can't have the volume end on certain numbers. It has to end on 3, because I've convinced myself it's lucky. And I avoid 4 because I heard once in Chinese culture, it translates to death. Is it logical? No. Does my brain momentarily relax when it's on 23 instead of 24? Yes. That's the reality for a lot of people with mild OCD. The brain creates rules, and temporarily, they feel safer than breaking them. Okay, folks, let's get our science hat on. OCD often involves 3 brain systems working overtime. 1. The threat detector, found in the amygdala. It fires too easily. Every small worry feels like a real danger. 2. The error checker, located in the anterior cingulate cortex. This is the part that says, wait, something's not right. In OCD, it doesn't turn off. 3. The decision maker, within the prefrontal cortex. It gets stuck in loops, trying to solve something that can't be solved with logic. So the brain creates a pattern: fear, compulsion, temporary relief, repeat, and the relief is the trap. It teaches the brain, do the ritual. It works, even if it doesn't. And you might be surprised by how many well-known people have talked about their OCD. Leonardo DiCaprio has described stepping over cracks repeatedly as a kid. Justin Timberlake has talked about symmetry and order-based compulsions. Ariana Grande has described intrusive thought OCD. Different people, different forms, same underlying mechanism. OCD doesn't care about intelligence, fame, talent, or personality. It's just how some brains are wired. Here are forms that rarely get discussed, but they matter just as much. Harm OCD. Not wanting to hurt anyone, being terrified you might. These people are usually the safest individuals you'll ever meet. Relationship OCD, constantly questioning, do I really love them? Or do they really love me? Even when everything is fine. Pure obsessional, otherwise known as pure O, is mostly mental compulsions, not physical ones. Rumination, mental checking, reassurance seeking. Hoarding OCD. This subtype involves holding on to items and struggling to throw things away, and it often doesn't respond well to standard cognitive behavioral therapy treatments. OCD is incredibly varied, which is why most cases go unnoticed. Here's a mind-blowing fact. Researchers found that people with OCD have perfectly normal threat responses, They just never get the all clear signal. Most brains say, I checked the door once. Good enough. An OCD brain says, I checked the door once, but what if I didn't? Check again. It's not fear of danger, it's fear of uncertainty. And humans are really bad at uncertainty. Think of OCD as a brain allergic to maybe. Once you see it that way, the behaviors make a lot more sense. Let's talk about what actually helps, the real, science-backed approaches. And before anything else, if you suspect you have OCD in any form, speaking with a professional is the best first step. Even one conversation can point you in the right direction. 1. Exposure and response prevention, ERP. This is gold standard treatment. It gradually trains the brain to tolerate uncertainty. You face the worry without performing the compulsion. The anxiety rises and then falls on its own. The brain learns, I didn't do the ritual, and nothing bad happened. 2. CBT for intrusive thoughts. This teaches people that thoughts are not threats. Thinking something is not the same as wanting it or doing it. 3. Reducing reassurance. This is huge. People with OCD often ask others, are you sure it's okay? And reassurance actually makes OCD worse long term. 4. The small daily challenge. This is the most practical thing you can do. Take one tiny compulsion and delay it by 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. You're not stopping it. You're breaking the automatic loop. This builds confidence faster than you'd expect. OCD doesn't mean you're broken. It means your brain is doing too much, not too little. And with the right tools, that same brain can learn new patterns. Understanding OCD isn't just helpful, it's empowering. Because the moment you understand how something works, you finally know what to do with it.